Ever since people started taking pictures, strange things have been showing up in them, one of which being ghosts. Many of them are, or at least seem to be, fake, but many defy an easy explanation. Hello and thanks for watching Paralopedia, your source for everything that is, isn't, and might be true about paranormal phenomenon. This is your place to balance science with faith, where we live in the great wasteland between closed-minded skeptics and mindless believers. I'm Jason from Raptian.net, and today we're looking at ghosts and photos. Ghosts and photos don't necessarily have the most picturesque history. Throughout the history of photography, especially when the technology was new, people have been faking pictures of ghosts. A quick search of Google for pictures of ghosts gives you roughly 15,700,000 results. It's very apparent that ghosts in pictures are all over the internet, but unfortunately it's hard to tell if they're real or just clever fakes. Yes, even the internet, the great bastion of truth, knowledge, and kind-hearted comments that it is, apparently is not immune to deceit. Now I've lost all hope for humanity. There are three types of ghost photos in my opinion. The first type is misidentifications. These are things that people attribute to ghosts, but are really nothing more than misunderstood processes. The following types of ghost photos I put into this category. Orbs. Like it or not, almost all of these are light reflecting off dust particles in the air. Is every single photo of an orb a picture of dust? Not necessarily. But as the possibility is always there, I don't see them as being good evidence of the paranormal. I've yet to see a picture of an orb that convinced me beyond the shadow of a doubt that it was a ghost, rather than dust or something else in the air. Ectoplasm, vortices, and mists. These can be caused by moisture in the air, smoke, the photographer's breath, and believe it or not, a camera strap or some other opaque object close to the lens. A good example of the latter explanation is this photo. If you don't believe me, dangle a string close to the lens of your camera and take a picture. It might take a couple of times, but eventually you'll reproduce one that doesn't look like a string at all, but instead something supernatural. Accidental double exposure. This type isn't as common nowadays with digital cameras, but for those who still use the trusty old film type cameras, they can happen. These aren't done on purpose like the spirit photographers did long ago, but it is caused by the same process. Pareidolia. This is simply a part of human evolution. Your brain has a need to make order of the chaos around it, and it will sometimes perceive a familiar pattern where none actually exist. This is a phenomenon behind many paranormal images. See Jesus in toast, an image in the clouds, or a face on Mars. It's simply pareidolia. If you look hard enough for something, you will find it, whether it's there or not. The second type of ghost photos are fakes. These photos are always done with the sole purpose in mind of tricking people. February 19, 1990 brought an end to the traditional days of fake ghost photos by giving people a brand new way to hoax pictures. No paranormal picture or celebrity photo shoot has been the same since. February 19, 1990 was the launch date of Adobe Photoshop. Look at this picture to see what Photoshop can do. A picture is worth 1,000 words. The third type are real photos, or at least can easily be explained. Enough of me being a negative Nancy and a Debbie Doubter. There is some good news. A type of spectral phoenix, rising from a photo of ashes. There are still, after all these things are taken away, several good ghost photos out there. These are photos that were taken long before Photoshop, or have credibility because of the people that took them, or the circumstances in which they were taken. The following pictures, in my opinion anyway, are credible. Number 1. The National Maritime Museum Ghost. In 1966, a retired Canadian clergyman named Ralph Hardy photographed a staircase at the National Maritime Museum in Greenwich, London. He said he saw nothing unusual when he took the picture, but was horrified to see a strange ghostly figure lurking in the shadows upon development. Could this photo have been faked? Sure it could have been. But why? I have no idea why a former clergyman would fake a photo of a ghost, when most Christians don't believe in them. But stranger things have happened. Number 2. Mabel Chenery's photo. In 1959, Miss Mabel Chenery went to the cemetery to visit her mother's grave. She took a photo of the grave, then took a picture of her husband who was sitting alone in the car waiting for her to return. When the picture was developed, Miss Chenery's mother appeared in the back seat of the car. An expert who examined the photo and the negative declared, "I stake my reputation on the fact that this picture is genuine." Number 3. The Brown Lady of Raynham Hall. The Brown Lady of Raynham Hall is a ghost which reportedly haunts Raynham Hall in Norfolk, England. It became one of the most famous hauntings in Great Britain when photographers from Country Life magazine reportedly captured her image. The photographers that snapped this picture were taking a picture of the staircase at the time. When the picture was developed, this came out. Number 4. Lord Combermere's ghost. This photo of the Combermere Abbey Library was taken in 1891. A figure of a man can faintly be seen sitting in the chair to the left. It's believed to be the ghost of Lord Combermere. Lord Combermere was a British cavalry commander in the early 1800s who distinguished himself in several military campaigns. Lord Combermere died in 1891, having been struck and killed by a horse-drawn carriage. It's said, at the time this picture was taken, Combermere's funeral was taking place 4 miles away. Last, but certainly not least, number 5. Freddie Jackson's ghost. In 1975, Sir Robert Victor Goddard, a retired RAF officer, revealed a photo that was taken during the First World War. It was a group photo of Goddard's squadron. Behind Victor in the photo was a man who everyone in the squadron recognized as Freddie Jackson, one of the base's air mechanics. The only problem with this was Freddie's funeral had been earlier that day. He had died 2 days prior while working on an airplane. The following is an interview with a woman that was stationed with Freddie on the base.
We were very sad when we heard he had died, because it was one of a group. I suppose it was the comradeship. We were all the transport yard was very much a sort of, I suppose you might almost say, a clique.
This was Bobby Cable's extended family in 1918, the men and women of the transport yard at Cranwell in Lincolnshire.
I had a job of going round to the officers' mess every morning in my tender, which was then rather like a Land Rover now, they looked like. And I was to take any officers who wanted to go into Sleaford, which was the local town. And a blue jacket used to come out and say, "Liberty boat alongside, sir, anybody for the shore?"
Friendship blossomed. Then one day, just before the unit was disbanded, it was decided there should be a group photograph. A souvenir of their time together, something to keep forever.
I remember us all getting very smart and spick and span to be photographed.
But there was someone missing in the lineup, a young mechanic called Freddie Jackson. Freddie had died only days earlier, though not at the hands of the enemy. Rather, it was said he had walked into a propeller. His would be the one face missing from the photograph.
We all said we wanted a copy, and we were handed our copies. And there was quite a gasp of surprise, because this young man who had been in the transport yard and had been away on leave and had died appeared in the top row, quite recognizable to us all.
To the right and behind the shoulder of the man wearing the hat is Freddie's face.
He's got no hat on. Everybody else has got a hat on, and he's quite obviously just his hair. So he's different from the rest. Once you've seen it and knew the face, It was unmistakable. He would undoubtedly have been in the photograph if he hadn't died. And there he was. I think we all thought it was exceedingly spooky. It was very eerie to us, this man who we'd known in the transport yard, appearing so clearly when we knew he was dead. This was a tremendous shock in a way. It's been a very definite memory in my mind all my life. And I'm glad I've kept the photograph. I suppose this made one think pretty carefully about it. But I had a sister who saw ghosts who I certainly couldn't disbelieve. So I have no reason not to believe in ghosts. I don't think I've ever, well, I can't say I've never seen one myself, but I suppose looking at this photograph I have.
Here are some more notable ghost photos. I'm not saying that they're real or they're fake, but they are well known. Judge for yourself. So, do you believe any of these pictures show ghosts? Let me know in the comments below. Also, you'd be very awesome if you would like this video, subscribe to our channel, and be sure to check out our other paranormal investigations and videos. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And be sure to stop by rap10.net for more on this and anything else paranormal. See you next time, and thanks for watching. Remember, there's no reason to be normal when you can be paranormal